Friday will mark the 60th anniversary of a historic march in Selma, Alabama, where peaceful protesters advocating for African American voting rights were violently attacked on the Edmund Pettus Bridge in 1965. WDBJ7's Tanisha Jackson joins us in the studio to tell us how one community is honoring this day. Good morning, Tanisha.
Good morning, Nisi. Yeah, the Roanoke chapter of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference will host a ceremony to commemorate the march at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Statue tomorrow. On March 7th, 1965, over 600 people set out to march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, peacefully protesting voting rights for African Americans. But before they could cross the bridge, they were brutally attacked by law enforcement officers.
They was met with dogs and all kind of beating and all to just get us just to vote. All we wanted to do is just have a say.
National outrage over the attack, also known as Bloody Sunday, spurred a second march on March 21st, led by civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from Selma to the state capitol in Montgomery.
To let the nation and the world know that we are tired now. Yes. We've lived with slavery and segregation 345 years. We waited a long time for freedom.
This movement was a turning point in history, leading to the enactment of the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
That was rights for us that he pushed so hard to get. That seemed like at one point we just couldn't get there. But it's gotten there, and now we have to keep fighting not to lose it.
Each year, the Roanoke chapter of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference hosts a remembrance event at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Statue to remember the intent of the Selma March and pay tribute to those who were attacked.
It was rough for me, so we celebrate that every March the 7th. We call it Bloody Sunday because it was a really bloody day. And that didn't stop Dr. King. About 2-3 weeks later, their march was back on again, and over 25,000 people come across that bridge that day.
The event will take place at an historic bridge that is significant to African Americans in Roanoke, as the Edmund Pettus Bridge was to those who marched in 1965.
It separated the city downtown from Gainesboro on top of the bridge there, which was called Henry Street at that time. And a lot of black businesses and everything, if you know anything about Henry Street. And so it was like a safe haven if you were downtown.
The Selma March Remembrance event is set for Friday at 4 p.m. And the organization encourages everyone to come out to that event.
Yeah, such a historic event in our nation's history and still being remembered today. Thank you so much, Tanisha.